G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Dunny's Shed. We're not actually in the shed today, we're in the garage. So behind me here you can see I've got a blank wall, and down in the garage you can see that you may have seen I've got all my garden tools hanging. So what I want to do is I want to bring the garden tools up out of the shed, because the shed's a dedicated workshop for working on fantastic projects, and I want to hang these on the wall. So in order to do that, you can't exactly just drill straight into the plasterboard just willy-nilly, because what will happen is the plasterboard will just pull out because it's too weak. So when you're hanging something like a rake, you want a couple of points like that to hang it from, or even out further, suit your preference. So if you were to put them side by side in your wall, you might put one in the stud, but the next one you're going to have to put in the plasterboard. So what will eventually happen is the plasterboard will pull out and it'll end up falling off. So in order to combat this, what we do, we get a piece of timber and we hang the timber on the wall, make sure that we put it in the studs. So the studs are running through the wall like this, behind the plasterboard, and we screw the timber onto the wall through the studs, and that way we know that when we put pins along this, or pegs, whatever you want, you know that you're not going to have to worry about going into a bit of plasterboard. Right, so I'm going to show you exactly what I do and how I go about it. So first up, we'll find our studs on the wall, and then once we've found the studs, transfer the measurements onto the piece of timber, mark them out, drill some holes, bore some holes, and then we'll put some screws in it. So in order to, oh, that was handy. There we go. So I have a steel frame house. A lot of people have a timber frame house and they use a thing called a stud finder to go along and locate the studs. So that was really fortunate. So you can see that that's sort of sticking just there. If I was to move it out here, it would fall. So I know that there's a stud behind here. So what I'll do is I'll mark each of these locations so that I can find a stud, and that'll let me know where I need to mark my holes. So you can see just here, I've marked on the wall where I want my timber to go. So what I'll do now is I'll just come straight down from there and I'll put a mark where I want to drill my hole. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill our holes. I'm just drilling a pilot hole. Then I'm just going to follow this up with a counterbore. And what I've done, I've just made the counterbore just deep enough so that the head of the bolt will fit in there. Okay, so you can see now I've drilled all my holes at my marked out locations. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw it up to the wall. And hopefully I haven't miscalculated and I can get all the studs. Now we'll get the trusty old level and just make sure that we're nice and level. And that one screw, the reason I put it there instead of out on the end is so I don't have any gravity trying to pull this piece of board down. So they're sort of closer to a middle point. So basically that screw is good enough to hold this timber level while I put the other screws in. Lovely. Okay, so you can see behind me here, I've roughly laid out where I want the tools to go. And now what I'll do is I'll go and put the high level ones up first, and then I'll make another board to go down a little bit lower for the lower level tools. a bit of timber that's a little bit bigger, so it's both a little bit longer and a little bit wider. The reason for that is, well, the first reason is it's a little bit longer because I didn't have the room to fit in up here because of this bracket for the garage door. So what I'm doing, and the second reason, is because I want to be able to put some smaller tools on this, such as your little handbrake and shovel and garden weeding tools and stuff like that. So just all the smaller little tools, and they'll just fit in this area here, just a little bit lower. Alright, so I'll repeat the process again. I'll mark out on the wall where I want these to go. This time I'm only going to mark the middle and one of the ends, because I can just drill them on the wall. I just think it'll be just a little bit easier. Look at that. Mind you, I did look down.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
I'm going to have to make a special hookup for my edger. The hanging attachment for it doesn't allow it to sit flat on the wall, so as you can see, if I turn it so that the screw goes in that way, it hangs out like this. So I'll make a hookup with a 90 degree on it, so it'll come out from the wall and then go across, and basically then I'll let it sit flat. So just need to make a space for it. Just got one more shovel to hang up and we're done.
Is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up.
I've forgotten all about these. Well, I haven't forgotten, but I forgot they were there. These are the tiles that we're putting around the water feature on the swimming pool. So I was planning to get onto that job sort of about now, but it's a bit cold to be standing in the water to put them on, so I'm just going to wait until spring. Yeah, the water temperature's only around about, I think it's about 12 degrees, 10 degrees Celsius, so it's a bit cool to be standing there all day. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate the time you've taken to sit down and watch this little video. I hope you got something out of that. Yeah, it's just sometimes it's pretty simple on what you can do to just create something simple, basically. So all those tools are now in the garage, so when we're working on the garden, open the garage door, pull the tools out, put them away. They've got their own little place there on the wall now. And the other thing too about that is when you come in from the yard, you can see that there's a tool missing, and you can go, wonder where that is, and go looking for it. So very handy for two reasons. Alright guys, until next time.